Hi everyone, I want to give you some pointers on the first assignment, assignment number one. I had a few people asking, hey, I don't work in an IB school, I'm not teaching high school, how do I approach starting this assignment? So here are a few guidelines. One way to think about it, if you're not teaching currently in an IB school, and one of the things you're going to notice in this course, it's very applied. So two ways of applying what we learn in this course. Number one, in your own classroom practice, if you're not teaching in an IB school, what can you adopt? That all of the IB practices are based on best practice, research-informed approaches to assessment. So what can you adopt? We are looking for that kind of reflective practitioner and change in practice. So that's one type of application. The other way of demonstrating some of that application is thinking about being an IB teacher and what are the pieces that as an IB teacher you would need to create and creating them. So a lot of the assignments are more that second type of application. So one way to think about this, I'm going to invite you to consider, is as a GRASPS task. So if we think about making this assessment plan as a GRASPS task, our goal is to design a 2-year assessment plan for your diploma subject area at the higher level that is both student and parent friendly. So we're picking higher level because it has more requirements and it is the more rigorous of the two levels. Your audience, sorry, I'm going to fix the mistake I made here in order. So in role, you imagine this role. So put yourself into this headspace. You've been hired as the course lead at a school that is beginning to develop the IB diploma program. If you are teaching in an IB school, if you are really teaching the course that you're working on for the purposes of this certificate, that's great. Continue to do that. If you're not, or if you're not teaching high school even, put yourself in this role and maintain this role throughout the course. And I think you will have success in taking on that stance and approaching the assignments with that in mind. For this assignment, your audience is students in their first week of year one of the diploma program and their parents. So you're creating a document that is for this audience. And the situation, and I'm going to put you in to think about, well, why would I do that? Or what's the context for this piece of work? You will lead a parent and student information evening for your subject at which you will outline what students can expect from assessment over the 2 years of the course. So the product you're going to make, again, is a calendar that gives approximate dates for all the summatives and significant formative assessments, such as rough drafts of things, roughly taking into account your own school calendar. So why your own school calendar? The diploma program is going to exist in a real school context. It's not in isolation. Students are studying 6 courses. They're studying TOK. They're doing their CAS requirements. They're writing extended essays. They're also, maybe for their CAS requirements, involved in the school play. They're also writing SATs and ACTs and applications for university. So we want to actually put into context the real school life. And in terms of planning one subject area, it's got to fit into that real school life. So when do you have holidays? When is school open at the beginning of the year? In second year, you're going to end, we're going to say the May exams, work toward the May exams. So you've only got school until the end of April. And if you want to do the Southern Hemisphere time zone, let me know with the exams in November. That's okay, just work toward that as the end game. But thinking about the real flow of the school year. You'll also, you want to include what you've learned about internal and external assessments and how are you going to prepare students to do that. So the previous posts that you made all boil up to being able to do this assignment. So the success criteria for our assignment are going to be the assignment number 1 rubric and also a 1-page summary of your thinking behind your decision making in your calendar. And you should be making reference to the things that we've done throughout Module 1. So if we go back to the assignment, just to take a look, there is an example of this. So here's a sample that was done by a learner in a previous group. She did this for her final portfolio in the last course of the certificate. And this happens to be for chemistry. But what you're going to notice here is she has had to identify the topics. So you do need to have some sense of what is this course that I'm going to teach? What's the required content? How would I, in my local context, design 2 years of instruction through that required content? So you can see how this particular learner has structured her chemistry course. We can see in year 1 the different topics. We can see when the topics end, and it's a rough idea. So in which month? It doesn't have to be a daily calendar. And we're also getting a sense of year 1, year 2. In some of the materials that you engaged with, you saw some actual IB teachers talking about how they are doing predicted grades, and in that context, in some of those videos, they talked about the decisions they're having to make this marry to local requirements as well. So that's where this idea of take your own school calendar as a baseline for what does school life actually bring, and fit your decisions into that. In order to figure out what the course content is going to be, this is worth spending the time on for assignment 1, and then stick with it for the rest of this course. So if I'm going to study language and literature, for example, I'm going to look in the syllabus. I'm going to look at the syllabus outline. It's going to give me an idea of what the the 3 main areas of the course are. I look at the content. I'm going to be able to learn more about what I need to make sure they're learning, and the course requirements, how to choose the literary works, and for example. And the prescribed texts. So when you're doing your sample, you want to make sure that you're working from actual content that is the required content of the IB. And again, if you don't teach high school, you're thinking about what is a high school, last 2 years of high school, pre-university content going to look like, and level of rigor. From the assignment that you did already on the looking at the subject reports, you have gained insight into what students find hard, what teachers find hard, and you have got an idea of what kind of practice students need. So before they're going to do this IA, what kind of practice did they do in order to be ready to hand that in? Did you break it up? Did they do small formative pieces? Did they do small summative pieces? Where are they getting practice with the assessment criteria? Where are they getting practice with exams or tests that look like the final exams? And thinking about it in that regard. And as I say, you can use these decisions all the way through the rest of this course. Stick with the one course area as you have already started with the very first task. Another piece just to show you, like, when is the exam in my subject area in May? I posted May. If you want November, then please let me know, and I can get that to you. I'm going to show you where to find, though. The May exam schedule is in topic A, the Inquire section, and it's right here. This is the May 2020 exam schedule. So again, if Lang and Lit was my subject area, when are my students writing Lang and Lit? They are writing paper 1 on Monday, May 4th. So pretty early in May. My students aren't going to be in school if I'm teaching biology, and biology happens not until Thursday, May 7th. My students aren't in school that week. They're preparing for exams. They're writing exams. So it's a short second year, and take that into account when you build your calendar. So let me know if you have any further questions, and best of luck.